Am I the a-hole for dropping out of my best friend's bridal party after she picked my ex as her man of honor? Ooh. Ooh, okay, this is gonna be juicy. So let's get into it. So my female 36 best friend, female 39, is getting married, and I was all in as one of her bridesmaids. We've known each other since college, shared heartbreaks, dorm rooms, and hangovers. She knows everything about my breakup with my ex. He was emotionally manipulative, cheated on me, and caused a lot of fallout so big I had to rebuild myself from the ground up. She was there for all of it. And at the time, called him quote unquote literal garbage in a human costume. Flash forward to last month. She tells me she's choosing him as her man of honor because they reconnected and she thinks he's grown. I laughed because I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Oh, I hate it. I tried to keep it together but told her I couldn't be in the bridal party if he was involved in such a major way. She said I was being dramatic and that her wedding isn't about me and that she values his support too. So I dropped out. I still plan to go as a guest, but now she's furious. She says I'm ruining her special moment over old wounds and making her choose sides. I mean, like, it's one thing to, like, still be connected to someone who hurt your friend. And this isn't just like subjective thing. Like he objectively hurts OP. It's one thing to like be cordial and like kind around them, which is what honestly I expect as a friend. Like if I have a falling out, I don't ever want to be put in a position where my friends are like bullying other people on my behalf. I never want that. Me personally, I still want people to be cordial. But man of honor. Brother, yeah. I feel blindsided and betrayed. If the roles were reversed, I would never put her in a situation where she'd have to play nice with someone who crushed her heart. So, am I the a-hole for stepping out instead of standing by her side while my ex stands at hers? I fail to understand why he has earned the role of man of honor. I mean, okay, they're reconnected. Okay, they kind of like work things out, talked, they're friends now. Why is he her bestie? Not only bestie, like she's literally putting your ex above you. I mean, like to some extent, I do agree with the whole, yeah, it's like the bride's wedding and she kind of gets to choose. But this is why I absolutely, personally, don't like the like ranking of the friends because what the bride and in this story is doing is like ranking her supposed best friend's ex above her best friend. Like, I feel like in that case, somebody is bound to get pissed off. If you're willing to take that kind of risk, then you need to be okay with the fallout. I mean, I've come to realize that like you can have falling out with people. It doesn't necessarily mean that people will be loyal. Just because I feel like if my friend has a falling out that I have no like I have literally no purpose speaking to the person that she has had a fallout with. Like I'm not gonna be friends with that person. But then it's always awkward when they reconnect with that person and it's like it's awkward. But I've just come to realize that people do whatever they want. Okay, so we do have another day. So she went to the wedding as a guest and it was complicated. I kept my distance during the ceremony, seeing my ex stand beside my best friend, the same person who once helped me pick up the pieces after he shouted at me, felt surreal. He gave a speech. It was polished, charming, and full of inside jokes from their reconnection. I feel like I was watching a version of reality I didn't belong to anymore. After the ceremony, I tried to be cordial. I smiled, chatted with other guests, and avoided the bridal party, but my best friend cornered me during the reception. She said she missed me and that she wished I'd just let it go for her sake. I don't know. What about her feelings? What about Opie's feelings? I told her I was happy for her, but I couldn't pretend everything was fine. I reminded her that healing isn't linear and that asking me to stand beside someone who emotionally wrecked me wasn't just inconsiderate, it was cruel. She cried, I cried, we hugged, but it didn't feel like a resolution. It felt like goodbye. Yeah, she totally picked him over you. I left early. I didn't stay for the cake or the dancing. I walked into the night feeling both lighter and lonelier. We haven't spoken. This was a couple of weeks ago. I mean, I've been in a situation where like I've been like sobbing, like crying over a guy. I mean, I like so much. And I mean, the guy was so awful to me. I mean, like almost as awful as you can picture in your head telepathically. I like I would telepathically let you know what this person do to me. And to still see, like my friends hanging out with them, some of them even dating the guy. Haha. The situations were like, wow, like interesting. hmm I mean, coming from someone who has fallen out with people, I have come to realize that it's not your friends, I mean, obligations to like treat that person like because you had a falling out. You can be cordial, but to me, being friends with that person, it stinks. And it does make me want to pull back. So I totally respect how you feel. So let's check the top slash relevant comments and know what Reddit has to say. So the first commenter said, no, you're not the a-hole. Holy cow, why should you feel bad about not standing by her side when it's so obvious she doesn't stand by you? She made her choice, and if she really felt any concern for you at all, she would have asked you before asking your ex to be man of honor. This is the other thing, too, right? She knows exactly what this person did to you. She knows that you would probably be uncomfortable. She didn't ask you, she just did it. She was trying to start a drama. She got what she wanted. Protect yourself from her. She's nasty. Open response. Thank you. Another person said, not the a-hole. It was goodbye. She chose someone else over you. Someone who destroyed you. There is no coming back from that. I speak from experience. I fail to understand why she likes this guy so much. Perhaps because he's a manipulative. But then again, what possibly could have happened to make her choose him over her best friend and rank him higher? Like, how long have they been friends? I mean, you guys have known each other since college, like literally like close to 20 years. That's crazy to me. Okay, so some people are speculating like maybe the bride and like the man of honor are like having an affair. Hmm, I mean, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a few years down the line they're having an affair. I mean, he's really horrible. And guess who she's gonna come to talk to? You, bestie. I don't think you are the a-hole. I think you are quite nice in this situation. It's not like you choose not to go to the wedding. This person choose your ex over you. That's kinda hard. You are totally valid for feeling the way you feel. You are not the a-hole. But guys, don't go anywhere. We still have interesting, juicy stories for you guys that you are gonna enjoy. So let's get into it. Am I overreacting? My best friend of 13 years is getting married and didn't invite me. Ooh. So me, female 20, my sister, female 19, and Dylan, male 20, have been best friends for 13 years. I'd say we've been through just about everything together: school, family drama, breakups, the lot. Dylan's been dating Kayla, female 21, for about 2 years now. We've all met and we've gotten along great. There's never been any bad blood or drama between us. They also have a baby, and Kayla is currently pregnant again. At some point, Kayla and Dylan had a major falling out, actually devastating to their relationship. Kayla cried on the phone to us over it for about 2 days or so and was planning on moving back home with her own family. Dylan was not home any of these times because he was staying with a friend and getting drunk. Hmm, get some help. On the third day, Dylan asked us to come out with him and we agreed. We met him at a pub, which we waited outside for him to finally stumble out, piss drunk, for about an hour. We all hung out at a local park just across the street and tried comforting him through what he said was the worst night of his life. We offered some advice and encouraged him to go home, stop drinking like this, and go work it out with Kayla because whatever they are arguing over isn't worth it. And it's certainly not worth splitting their baby's parent up over. And it's not right that his girl's at home alone with their baby, boiling her heart out, and he is out here getting drunk and leaving her to it all. He cried for a bit, we hugged it out, and he finally agreed to go home and work on things with her. This is one example of the multiple times they've come to us and we've had to sort their problems out, pick them back up, and get them back on their feet. Moving on, Dalian and Kayla announced sometime last month that they were getting married. It was at a little family get together thing we did for my sister's birthday. We told them that was great and we asked if we were invited. The initial answer was yes from Dalian, whereas Kayla said maybe, but Dalian reiterated his yes, of course. Well, today we found out through a Facebook post that they are getting married next month and we are suddenly not invited. To be quite frankly, like I really genuinely feel like these people would not even be together if it weren't for you. We messaged him about it respectfully, of course, but he's at work and hasn't responded. I don't want to immediately pin this on his fiance, but I know there tends to be a lot of comments of those types on this kind of post. I mean, yeah, that's for a reason. So, am I overreacting for not being invited to this wedding, or am I valid for being upset? No, you are 100% valid for being upset. Like 100%. Again, like it doesn't really seem like these people would be together if it weren't for you. You are not overreacting at all. You have every right to be upset. This is definitely slap in the face. Eddie, to clarify, I'm a lesbian. I've been with my girlfriend for 5 years. My sister has been with her own boyfriend for 2 years. Also, the link gets really put out if we don't invite him to plans of our own, which is kind of making me think this is definitely shady. So let's check the comments. Let's know what Reddit has to say because we have some interesting thoughts and relevant comments here. So let's know what Reddit has to say. It doesn't matter. This marriage won't last. You will get invited to the next one. I mean, if you still want to remain friends with this person. Okay, so some people are pointing out like maybe it might have just been family that they invited, and that's why it was kept small. I think before you get upset, like first of all, you have a right to be upset, but before we get bothered, let's find out who X is invited to the wedding and how many people. If it's just a small thing with just like their parents and maybe like siblings, that's another story. It still hurts. So let's find out if possible if there are other friends that are invited or if it's just family. And then we can like go for scotch out. So we do have an update. Hey guys, I hope this makes sense, but I'm really pissed off and absolutely fucking disgusted. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. Oh, it does sound good, depending on how you think about it. Depending on if you like messiness. My sister messaged Dylan the night the original post was uploaded. He made some excuse about how it was family only, which was perfectly fine, until later he slipped up and mentioned that he actually was inviting friends too. Okay, yeah. Time to go full Scotched egg. Confused and wondering why he'd say they weren't inviting friends, then suddenly say they are, we asked him to clarify what he meant. He immediately went unresponsive and stopped replying, but we insisted and all agreed to talk about it in person over some drinks. Kayla came too. Obviously, she stayed sober. She's pregnant. Dylan and my sister, I'll call her Asta from now on, we are drinking. So was I, but not as much as Asta and Dylan. A bit in, I noticed Dylan got touchy with Asta and he's trying to keep a fair bit of distance between them. So the bride is uncomfortable because maybe Dylan and Asta have been touchy in front of her and you are not invited by his section. It's a bit weird, but Dylan's always been the I love you guys, wants to hug all the time, cries about how much he loves his friends kind of drinker. By this point, the planned conversation still hasn't come up, but Dylan invites Asta aside for a smoke and one-on-one chat. We are assuming that maybe what happened with this whole fiasco actually does have something to do with Kayla, and he doesn't want to say it in front of her. Asta agrees, and she tells me she'll keep me posted on what happens, and I stay with Kayla. The rundown of what happened during this one-on-one chat makes my blood boil. Essentially, Dylan says he has feelings for us. Okay, so it's both of you, but you're gay. That that we are the first girl aside from his mother that he's ever been friends with that he love us. Dylan tries to come on to my freaking sister. While his fiance is in the bar. Oh, absolutely not. No. She tells him no and says they better head back to Kayla and I, but he tries to yank all of her clothes off anyway. She takes me help and I ring her and tell her she's gonna be getting home now and that we are coming out to find him. Asta tells me what happened when they are home and we pulled Kayla aside. Kayla blames us. Oh, goodness. No, 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 no. Kayla had a right to be mad about the way that Dylan is like carrying himself. And like quite frankly, I don't even understand why she's marrying him if he's that disrespectful. But she cannot be mad at you guys. Like, why are you being punished by like not getting an invite to their wedding because Dylan can't keep his hands to himself? Like, make it make sense. She blames us and says we are trying to break up their marriage, even when Asta tells her she's not making this up and she can prove it. She started recording the interaction when Dylan started to get really weird. Kayla starts making comments about the way we dress, the way we act, even makes comment about our house. Oh my goodness. We tell her it's time for her and Dylan to F off, and that when she is stuck later on down the line, thinking about who to ask for help to make sure our names are never on that list again. So we never got an answer about the original situation. You don't need an answer. That is your answer. Kayla is the type of person to blame the woman that the man cheats with, not the man who cheated. So we never really got an answer about the original situation, but we definitely got one of the statics of the entire friendship and that they can both get. And that's where we are at. Sorry if I've left anything out or if this is a thorough mess to read. No, 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 you're good. You're good, bestie. Yeah, I wouldn't want to get the freak away from this. Dylan sounds like a nut though, but like Kayla also sucks. Yeah, she sucks. So sounds like you aren't overreacting, and no, you are not the a-hole. Mm-mm. We got one more for you. Don't go anywhere. Stick around because you are gonna love it. Am I the a-hole for refusing to let my best friend use the nail studio I built from scratch after she hijacked my birthday trip and replaced me? Ooh, this is gonna be juicy. Like, let's get into it. I'm a 19-year-old woman living in Philly. I've been emancipated since I was 15. Long story short, my home life was unstable, and after a year of bouncing between couches and school counselors advocating for me, I took control of my own life. At 16, I got full responsibility for my little brother, who's 10 now, and I've basically been raising him since. Every dollar I make supports us both. No parents in the picture, no family hangout, just great prayer and ambition. You are a superwoman. Wow! I started my own nail business 2 months ago in my house at first, and I just recently bought my own studio. Wow! No hand of applause. Not a booth, not a shared space, full on private studio with branding, licensing, my own chair, booking system, the works. I am just so unbelievably impressed by you. I love it when people are dealt really, really hard and they don't use those cards as an excuse to be a victim. You were dealt cards and you made something of yourself. And I hope you know how amazing you are. It's small but clean, cozy, and aesthetically me. I saved for nearly a year from Applebee's and little side jobs to reselling clothes. I taught myself acrylics, worked part-time jobs, and built a following on TikTok and Instagram. I've had weeks where I make 1 to 2 thousand in straight appointments, and I am proud of that. Oh God, I'm proud of you. My regulars come from all over Philly just to get set by me, and I pour love into everything from the cuticle oil to the Spotify playlist. Now enter my former question mark best friend. We will call her Maya. We've been friends since the end of 8th grade. I used to stay over at her place when things got bad at home. We bonded hard fast, and for years she's been my twin. My best friend lived in Mercer, so Maya was one of the few I really relied on. We would talk on FaceTime until 3 a.m., made vision boards together, and cried over boys together. She even helped me design the logo for my studio. It's always been ride or die. Until recently. Back in April, I started planning a birthday trip for my 20th. I turned 20 this November and I wanted to celebrate somewhere fun. After years of surviving, I finally had the ability to actually leave. I picked Miami, locked down the Airbnb, booked my flight, and created a full itinerary with spa days, jet ski option, a rooftop dinner, and booked activities. It was gonna be 5 girls, including Maya, and I fronted the entire deposit under the agreement that they'd pay me back in installments. Maya swore she was good for it. Was she? I hate to say it, but I've been on many girls' trips. And there's no one that pay for the Airbnb under the condition that will be payback. The one that pay for the Airbnb under the condition like I'll pay you back. Let me tell you, girl, it's friendship ending. Mm-hmm. Lady May, Maya started getting close with a girl named Liv, a social media baddie, as Liv refers to herself, who just screamed mess. Suddenly, she's posting cryptic captions, going on weekday brunches, and calling Liv her twin flame. I absolutely feel like there is whenever a girl refers to as things like soulmate or twin flame or like sisters, it's almost like there's something else going on. And by that I mean it's gonna get messy at some point. It feels like love bombing in a friendship, you know what I mean? Cause like women long for that intimacy and that closeness, and we want like besties who love us so so badly, and then when our friends starts like love bombing you and being like so obsessed with you, it feels off. It's weird. I didn't care at first, friends grow, whatever. But she started brushing me off, skipping our calls, acting shady about the trip. Anytime I'd ask if she'd sent her portion for the Airbnb, it was always, oh, I will send it next week, or I'm waiting for a brand deal to clear. 2 weeks ago, I opened Instagram. Maya is in Miami. Same Airbnb, same activities with leave. She posted a boomerang clinking glasses on a rooftop bar I literally had in our original itinerary, the one I made. I DM'd her asking if this was some sort of sick joke. Her reply, girl, I heard in one gospel girl like that. I figured the trip wasn't even happening anymore. You've been focused on your business and I didn't want to pressure you. Liv already had plans, so I tagged along. Sorry, you are mad. Sorry, you're mad. Okay, so this happened after you've literally been constantly reminding her that you were going on this trip, that you needed to be paid, and then somehow she got to, oh, you don't want to go anymore. The math is not mathing. Mm-mm. When I tell you my flabbers were gasted as a mind bestie, then, and I swear to God, I cannot make this up. 4 days ago, she texted me asking if she can use my nail studio to host her new large brands party. Make it make sense. Apparently, the venue she had fell through last minute and she wanted to do something authentic and cute. She told me your studio would be perfect, it would be super light, I'll clean up after, we'll tag your brand. Is she friends with Liv because she can help her with her business? Like, what's going on here? Yeah, no. Like, the audacity is actually crazy. I said no. I told her point blank that after the way she handled the trip, I no longer felt comfortable offering my space, especially one she had zero interest in supporting lately. She replied with this long paragraph about how she always knew I'd switch off once I started making money, giving jealousy, giving deceitfulness, giving vindictiveness. It's all that stuff. I would argue that she switched up because she switched off once she had a friend that could benefit her, and that I was letting ego and fake business boundaries ruin our sisterhood. No, 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 no. She hurts you, ditches you on your birthday, and then doesn't apologize and deflects blame and like makes up some weird story about how you didn't even want to go anymore. Then the next time she talks to you, she wants a favor. And I'm assuming that you are not being paid for the use of your studio. Now, our mutual friends are split. Some said I was petty. I mean, you were a little bit, but that's okay. That I could have just let her use the space for 2 hours. Others, especially the ones who had similar fallout, say I was way too nice for even answering her texts. As someone who does like to stonewall and like protect the pace and etc. blah 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 blah, I think that there's definitely something to be said for like letting people know why they've upset you, seeing how they respond to that, and whether or not they take accountability or if they deflect, if they gaslight. All of these things play into whether or not you want to continue a friendship or continue a relationship with someone. I actually feel like letting her know was nice, but at least she knows where you stand. And also, you know where she stands. Like, if there was any doubt of like who she is to you, you know now. Like, there's nothing like, oh, like maybe I could have handled this situation better. You handled this situation, and now you know it's going to be much easier to walk away. Let's check the comments to know what top relevant comments have to say because Reddit has something to say always. So let's know what Reddit has to say. Tell her to ask her twin flame for a place to launch her brand. Literally. Like the comments on this say you've been replaced by someone who she can benefit from more. And it sounds like this relationship was kind of like transactional. At least maybe it became that way. She's not even very good at like transactions. Like if you want something nice, like at least make sure that we are like good before you ask. You know what I mean? That's kind of dumb. If she was smart, she would have apologized profusely, like let you know that there were some sort of miscommunication, offered to make up for the fact that she was ditching you on your birthday. Even then, like being ditched on your birthday for someone else is like pretty horrible. But like she handled it so poorly and then blamed you and then gaslight you. No. No. So are you the a-hole for refusing to let your best friend use the nail studio I built from scratch after she hijacked my brother trip and replaced me? No, you are not the a-hole. But we do have an update. Interesting. Hey potatoes, I have a short update, and yes, it is exactly the kind of messy you'd expect. Ooh. So after Maya tested me asking to use my studio for her large brand launch, after ditching me for the Miami trip I planned for later on, I told her I wasn't comfortable with it. I didn't yell, didn't drag her, just calmly said no. She did not take it well. First to do. Now you've returned the energy and she didn't take it well. Well, let's keep going. I called her yesterday and asked her to meet with me later on at a cafe. When we did meet and her latch didn't come up, she hit me with a guilt trip. I thought you'd support me like I've always supported you. You are really gonna let money come between us. It's just a few hours. I will clean up after. I let her talk. Then I said, if you want to use the studio, it's 700 for the evening plus $200 cleaning deposit. That's my standard rate. I don't do favors through guilt. Cheaper than what her share of the Miami trip was. She was stunned, tried to play it off like I was joking. Then she got defensive. She said I was acting brand new since my business started doing well, that I used to be humble, that I wouldn't even have the studio if it weren't for her help, for her helping with the logo. And she ditched you like that? Oh, so backward. I didn't take that bait. I just said, this is a business. You want to host a brand launch in a space I owned, then I built from that I built that I built from scratch. You pay for it just like anyone else. She tried to negotiate, offer 100 total. $100 total. Said she'd tag me on IG, maybe bring a new client. I told her exposure doesn't pay rent. She said she'd think about it. So I left, leaving her with the bill. Later that night, she texted, okay, I'll pay the full amount, send the contract. I replied, thanks. That's just it. Yeah, that's just, I mean, she didn't like think about your feelings and emotions and she ditched you like that on your birthday. Why am I even thinking that she pick up being friends with you in the first place just because she wanted to benefit from you in the future? Let's keep going. That's it. No emoji, no extra word, just thanks. Because here is the truth. Even though I'm sending a contract, she's not getting the space. She finally respected the value of what I built, but that doesn't mean she's entitled to it. I didn't need to argue. I didn't need to explain myself again. I just needed her to understand that this studio isn't a favor. It's not a backdrop for someone who only sees my work when it benefits her. It's the first thing I've ever owned that's truly mine, and I'm not handing it over to someone who treated me like an afterthought. Exactly. Then I go back to Liv. I mean, what happens to Liv? Does Liv not have a studio, an apartment, a condo, an Airbnb to rent for her? Let's keep going. I'm turning 20 in November. I've been raising my little brother since he was born. I've had weeks where I make more than people twice my age. I've survived many things Maya couldn't even imagine. And now that I finally have peace, I'm protecting it. So yeah, she agreed to pay, but she's not getting the space. And I'm not the a-hole. I'm just done being convenient. Ooh. Also, thank you to the Duchess 1025 for giving me the idea to let her pay, so when the event day happens and she sees I'm with a client with nothing set up, I can say, girl, I thought the event wasn't happening, so I decided to take a client. That's petty. That's next level pettiness. The event is next week, so I'll update you guys then. But what do you guys think? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Bye.